And we have started. We have Ether in a sanctuary. That's all I've really seen so far. But hello! I am Lou Dolphin.
I'm Melee.
And together we will be the commentating team for this entrance shuffle race.
Just getting thrown right into it.
Just thrown right in, like entrance shuffle is. I forgot, I didn't actually check where Sanctuary led out of. Was that the uncle spot?
Oh god, I don't know. We'll figure that out.
we'll figure it out. We already have a super bunny cave somewhere. And we have a Blind's Hut. There's just so much happening, 4 different directions from all runners. It's exciting. So if you have never seen an entrance shuffle before, when it's a full shuffle, that means that the single entrance caves, such as Blind's Hut and Chicken House, and some of the even more useless caves, get shuffled in between each other. But the double entrance caves, like Maze Game and Kakariko House, also get shuffled together, but also with the dungeons. So you could enter the Maze Game on the right and end up in East Palace. You could also have the left door of Maze Game lead to a dungeon, and the only way to get there is via mirror. But we already have Death Mountain access. Fun thing about entrance shuffle is that you get really mentally tripped up. We also have Ice Palace, but no fire source or even anything beyond ether.
Just staring at it. I believe the right side of Race Game was Hyrule Castle.
Aha. So you'll probably see these runners pause sometimes to make notes of where they found things, such as, oh, I found Ice Palace in the lower right Paradox Cave entrance, so that later they'll know to return there.
Unless your memory is, like, amazing, in which case you don't have to do that, but...
I have amazing memory, and I still need to use a notepad to keep track of entrances. We've also found a rupee farming spot in the front of the tavern. It's only 20 rupees, but it is easily accessible, and it will let Pika get the item from the bottle merchants. Sometimes in entrance rando, it is more valuable to go for overworld locations because you know that items are there, whereas if you enter a cave or a house or a dungeon, you might not necessarily find anything. Of course, you do need to find the dungeons at some point.
That's very true.
You can't win until you have the 7 crystals.
Okay, I think Kakariko's shed was Peg Cave, which was just bombs.
Sick Kid was located in the dam. And for those of you wondering how the dam works in this mode, once you drain the dam, it is permanently drained, which means that you can enter Swamp Palace and you can get the drained item, but you first have to locate the dam in order to have those things, in order to be able to do those things. What was on the Maze Game? Just missed it.
I missed that as well as making it.
It is either something or not something. We will probably find out when someone else goes there.
I believe it has to be an item. I'm not sure. Maybe Ganon was there and we missed it, but...
Chat says it was the hammer.
Oh, no.
Which is super annoying because you aren't guaranteed to be able to find that through the light world. You might have to use the mirror in order to get to that hammer. Oh, and a sword was found.
Oh, Uncle Drop is the backside of Escape.
Ah. So Sanctuary was at the Uncle spot. So that makes it easy to get to the back of Escape. We have a map, a key, and an arrow upgrade.
That's not exactly what you want to find back there. It's like the worst case scenario.
And the blacksmiths have been found somewhere. And we're staring at this blacksmith pounding away at half of the sword. Oh, it's an Aginos.
Oh no, PikaPals has this last bomb. Oh, and he gets it good.
Nice. Finding these 5 chest caves is super valuable. We get bombos. And that's where the sword was.
No, that's the second sword, actually. The other one's in a blind hut.
Ah. See, there's like 4 different things happening on stream. Makes it really hard to know what everyone is doing. Especially when all the entrances are shuffled, because you can't just look at the entrance or at the dungeon and be like, oh, so they're at this location. Nope, they entered some spot.
How does Swamp work in this mode, by the way? Like, if you flip the key, do you just...
You can still exit and go 1 screen away and then return, and it will be unflooded. It's only the entrance that is permanently flooded.
Alright, gotcha. Apparently, Green Pendant's Tower of Hera. Based on what Sasha said.
Which is interesting, because they could have seen it from the map check, which we haven't seen. People in Entrance Rando generally don't do map checks because they sort of just decide to enter whatever dungeon they find because you don't know where the dungeons are. So if you're already there, you might as well, you know, grab the items that you can. And you can use the music to guide you as to whether it's a crystal or a pendant. Oh, I guess there was a map check and I missed it. There seems to be a recurring pattern of me missing things.
Well, this is a lot to take in, so... Lumberjack Cave was just big 20, so...
Pika's going for the back of escape. We know that the map and the key are... Well, I just said back of escape. I thought more like the sewers was the back... He's an actual escape, not the back of escape. The back of escape had the key in the map. So there are going to be 3 items here for Pika.
I mean, he has a sword, so it's just going to be a very easy thing to clear out while he can. Alright, let's see what's over here on Invictus' side. Just a shop.
Looks like he's heading down to Moldorm Cave and possibly to what is referred to as the Light World Shopping Mall. 3 entrances, one of which is the Vanilla Ice Rod Cave.
Just a heart piece at Zelda's chest.
Zelda only left some of her love behind.
Looks like he's gonna Death Warp.
Yeah. So all 3 of these entrances in the Light World Shopping Mall are single entrance caves, so none of these will be dungeons, but they could have items in them. Such as the Meyer Annex, which has 2 chests. And we get the red boomerang.
Yep.
And
Boomerang,
he's not checking the other 2 spots. Or, wait, no. Oh, no, he didn't. Well, he doesn't have gloves, so he can't check.
Oh, there's a book
One
in
of
the
them.
forest.
Ooh. That is the closest place you can have the book, and then Just
the
meander
pedestal.
over to the pedestal right there, yeah. He's opting for the drop down, at least first.
It'll find bombs. That's very convenient.
Yeah, because he didn't have bombs. Got so excited by it that he misplaced it at first. Gloves in the back of Sasha's hut. So thus far we've seen Ice Palace and we've seen Hyrule Castle. Have we seen any other dungeons yet?
I don't believe we have.
Ooh, bad is that Lumberjack Cave.
So that means if you want to check that, you have to do Aghanim, I believe, right? Those
Right.
two are, yeah.
And that's one of the more annoying things to have at the Lumberjack Cave because you can't actually check what the item is. So you would be gambling that there's an item there. But we don't have boots, and we don't know where Aghanim's tower is even, so it's a little out of the way. We also don't even have powder, so that also is a missing required item.
The entrance to Aghanim's tower is also randomized, is it not?
It is, yes.
Yes, but we do know where two swords are.
And it's not necessarily in the same world as Hyrule Castle.
But we do know where two swords are, at least, so they could, if they find both of those, they could get into that and figure out what that is, at least.
Right, they could enter the vanilla Aghanim's tower location and find who knows what. Ganon's tower is also going to be randomized, so if they enter a double entrance spot or a dungeon, they could end up in Ganon's tower. So we probably could start playing a guessing game right away as to where the big key is. Gotta start. Don't know when we'll find GT.
Oh. Recitador accidentally using the bombos. It doesn't quite get rid of the walls, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is too many letters. Right first 4 letters, wrong remaining letters.
Oh, there's Desert Palace in the Gold Man Cave entrance.
Ah. The interesting thing about Desert Palace, just like Aghanim's Tower, is that this front section might not be in the same world as the section with Moldorm.
That is true. Yeah, and the boss is actually in a different part of the dungeon, and we don't know where that is.
But at least we did get the key, so that's not at least boots locked. We got the big key. So we can check 2 chests and look at what's on the torch.
And the map, of course. So, you've done these before, have you not?
I have.
What's your general strategy going into this? Like, as a...
Well, I wouldn't say it's a winning strategy, but I like scoping out what all the entrances are ASAP, and then grab whatever items I know I can grab, and then once I have a better idea of like what's available, then I can start tackling whatever dungeons or caves, such as Mimic Cave, that I'm able to tackle. It gets pretty involved once you get to Dark World, because then there's those locations and Light World locations and mirror spots that open up. But generally, you need more information. Like, you need information on where the dungeons are. So,
Did that just lead out to the middle entrance of Desert Palace?
middle entrance of Desert is the west entrance of Desert. Didn't move too far.
This is the real Paradox Cave this time.
It gets awkward when something like East Palace is at the front of Desert, and then you beat East Palace, and you have to save and quit because you can't get out of the staircase area. The book spot has reset, and unless you have the flute, you're stuck.
All right, the east exit leads us to Hyrule Castle.
Ooh, so if Pika had the second sword, he could check Aghanim's tower. We have found our way up here. And the right spot is East Palace. East Palace on East Hyrule Castle. At least it's consistent. So still no bow and no lamp, so the first two chests plus possibly the big chest are in the logic. The dark room not necessarily in the logic, but I wouldn't be surprised if these people went and did it. Entrance shuffle is actually what got me past my dark room phobia.
And the east, the dark room leading to the chest in Eastern is actually one of the easier ones, in my opinion.
It is so easy, I can even do it without like any melee weapon whatsoever. I'll just run straight through, soaking up whatever damage.
Yep, not too bad. Just the map and compass so far, though, so... You will find 2 items.
Saving the suspense for the last chest. I feel like a vanilla bow. That's my feelings.
That would be very interesting to find. And there's the big key. That's all 3 dungeon items, so...
So the remaining chests and boss have to be the remaining items, yes. I'm great at this commentary gig. Only a piece of heart, though, so we're gonna have to go through a dark room to get to the remaining item.
Looks like he's happening to do that. I'm not sure how much sequence breaking actually benefits you in Instant Shuffle, but, you know, considering how hard it can be to get back to these places, I don't blame them at all for doing it while they can.
Indeed. And lamps tend to be in worse locations than usual because of the nature of entrance shuffle. So if you don't like doing dark rooms and you do an entrance shuffle, prepare to have the worst time ever. Literally the worst time ever.
Literally.
At least they have lots of hearts, though. That is the king.
It's gotta be, etc.
It's gotta be the cane of Samara because it was a red cane. It has to be the cane. That's the only item that fits that description.
It's not a rod, so it can't be the fire rod. It's a cane.
Right.
It's a very specific shape.
And I mean, it's not the pendant either, because we didn't beat a boss, so yeah. I don't know any other red items.
Okay, so I assume that's probably more useful early on in Entrance Shuffle because you might find yourself in a spot that you might need it for. For example, Turtle Rock.
Early Turtle Rock and early Mire are always fun times. We have not found either yet. In fact, we've mainly seen Light World dungeons so far, so the seed's been pretty kind, especially with hearts. Rick's making his way to East Palace too. Recitador is also in East Palace. Invictus checking Hyrule Castle. So what hasn't been checked so far? Really hard question.
Yeah, that's
with all the action that's been going on. I mentioned there's more Death Mountain caves that they haven't gotten to.
Most likely. I don't think anybody's checked the actual Eastern. Well, that's
true.
right exit of the up floor in Hyrule Castle is just the tongue door to desert.
Pika entered Ice Palace and left Ice Palace, but with Bombos, he could actually do more in there.
That's true. You can get you can't actually fight Cold Star without the hammer, but other than that, it's
You can get the Compass chest, which is the first chest in the dungeon, pretty easily. The remaining remaining items a little more up in the air.
They do have hookshot, at least a few of them do.
Now we're getting the no, I guess this is PikaPal's first time down here. Probably going to head over to the Mini Moldorm Cave and then the Light World Shopping Mall. Recitador is also doing the same.
PikaPals didn't get his book. It's interesting.
I guess he hasn't gotten his way to Lost Woods yet.
I thought Bombos was in the well. Am I mistaken? I might be. I might be thinking of Red Boomerang, or am I?
The Red Boomerang was in the Ice Rod Cave,
Right.
which was Meyer Annex.
Right, I think the blue potion was in the well.
Rick's getting his cane.
PikaPals is about to get his Master Sword.
Oh, Recitador also has his cane. All these people going through the similar routing despite the earlier randomness.
So PikaPals just got his hookshot and his Master Sword in Blind's Hut.
So I wonder if he'll make his way and check Aghanim's tower.
Well, if he had his book, he could also... That would also open up tablets for him when he gets the chance to check them.
So Pika is going to be entering the west of desert through the front of desert.
Yes. Going to be a little surprised he actually is going into the dungeon that's here, just in the wrong spot.
So Rick is going to be getting his red boomerang, and he'll also be able to explore this cave under the rock here, which is unfortunately useless.
Yep, just a useless cave. Speaking of useless caves, there's a lot of useless caves in Link to the Past as far as randomizer goes that you might not think of checking or actually know of if you've just played Rando normally. That could be important.
It's like when you first play randomizer and you realize there are a lot of chests that you never found before because they are generally useless in the main game. And then you play entrance shuffle and you realize there's a lot of useless caves that you never noticed because they're useless in the main game.
Aghanim Tower, Meyer, by the way.
Ah. And it's convenient they have the hook shot, and they do have the cane, although that was lamp locked.
Indeed, lamp locked, so...
But that does mean that Vitreous is reachable.
Yeah, technically. As soon as you find Lamp, you can fight Vitreous, as far as logic is concerned.
As far as the logic is concerned, yes. But Pika could make the Vitreous play.
That would be quite interesting. Personally, I hate fighting Vitreous in normal randomizer with so little equipment that actually helps against him.
The entrance shuffle tournament from several months ago, I lost on a seed that required Fighter Sword Bowless Vitreous to get the Titan's Bits.
That is...
It was rough.
that is sadistic.
They at least have the Master Sword, so that helps a lot more.
Mm-hmm. Like, the fight's not bad, even with just Master Sword, if you have the cape. There was a daily not that long ago where somebody used cape strats on Vitreous with just the sword, and it worked really well. Because if you slash with the cape, of course, your magic doesn't drain, so you can get all the eyeballs in one spot and just completely destroy them.
Ah, indeed.
So no fire here is actually a little annoying, though, because several of the chests in Mire are locked behind a fire source.
Oh, right.
Well, there's a fire source right there.
There's a fire source. That's gotta be Fire Rod.
So that is the fire rod.
That is super convenient. Rick's checking out the East Palace for us. Oh, but I guess Recitador got there 5 seconds ago and I just missed it. We have Thieves Town.
Thieves Town a bit more approachable with this little equipment, of course, than Mire would be.
I don't really know how happy I'd be with 6 hearts, Fighter Sword. Not that the sword really matters against blind, but the longer range of the upgraded swords do help with hitting her.
It's very true.
But at least there are 4 items here, possibly only 3 because they don't have hammer yet. They have not found the way to get to the west side of the maze game.
That's the real maze right there. This is like the advanced maze game.
Mir hasn't been found, no Dark World access yet, not even a Moon Pearl, so who knows when that hammer will be gotten.
And just a big 20 in the other chests, so... Still finding that fire rod is extremely good.
And Pika deciding not to fight Vitreous, right?
Yes.
I know names.
Big eyeball guy with all the little eyeballs.
The eye thing, but not the swamp eye thing, the other eye thing.
And Ped is just a piece of heart. Sorry, guys.
Rip Ped Dream.
Alright, Rick's going to the back of Thieves Town. I missed how many items they found so far, unfortunately. I'm making notes.
Yeah, I've missed it too. I was more interested in Mire for some reason. I don't know why. Fewer items.
Mire's just more dangerous.
I was just blind to what was going on at Thieves Town.
Well, anyway.
Vanilla bombs to hint at the fact that you need to blow up this floor to do something that you don't really know what just yet. But of course, it's to fight blind later.
That's the kid has big 20. Alright, well, Ice Palace, Deeper Dive is still on the table for them as well. Could be something in there. Maybe even Lantern.
Indeed.
Of course, it could be in Thieves Town too, and then
Have we checked the front of Hyrule Castle yet? Oh, whoa. Yeah, we have. A long time ago. I just never actually realized that was there. Super Bunny Cave is Hyrule Castle's front entrance. Rick's trying not to die. Those red gargoyle things, or lizards, I guess they are, or whatever. Those always scare me.
Yeah,
I always kill this guy over in the corner because he always snipes at me once I get blind.
Yeah, he always like walks into the actual prison area. It's kind of weird. Like it's a good strategy for him, but
An actually good AI.
yeah, man.
What is this?
Yeah, they can be real jerks.
Blind man walks into a bar, and a table, and a door.
Oh, he's opting to use the Samaria strats. Not a bad idea, because you don't want to be near blind if you can help it. Oh no! Oh, clinches is out. Very nicely done.
With half a heart left.
Big 20
That
for
is
his show.
Worthy of $20.
And the red pendant. So we're getting all the red items. I approve.
Yeah, it seems that you read the seed well. I can only make these puns while we're in Thieves Town. Once we leave Thieves Town,
Okay, all right. You get
there'll be no more puns. Otherwise, it would be the death of me.
Oh, we find the back of Trevor Rock.
Oh boy, laser bridge.
Where all the good stuff is normally.
Super frustrating to find this as like your first location, and then realize you only have 3 hearts and no items to help with this, and you have to dodge the lasers. Victus takes the hit.
Yeah, these lasers do so much damage with green mail.
He will come back with enough hearts to take 1 hit. Unless he falls down. I think they do 4 hearts damage.
There you go. Confirmed.
They do 4 hearts damage.
It's absolutely insane how much damage they do, actually. He's just done. He's like, nah.
We'll come back. Technically, they are not in the logic until they have invincibility items or a mere shield, I believe. So one of the things of Entrance Shuffle is that the old man's cave, which I believe Pika is actually in right now, the one where you find the old man and take him out, has to be located on West Death Mountain due to the nature of how the game handles finding the old man. As soon as the old man is following you, if you were to game over, you would start over back at where the old man was. So you have to return the old man, and the old man refuses to enter caves, I believe, once he's out in the open. So in order to prevent you getting soft locked, he has to appear over on West Death Mountain.
That's something I found out during a random seed where I didn't have any like guide through the dark room, no sword, nothing to bounce off the walls. And I tried to save and quit, and then it puts you right back there. So,
yeah. Now the tricky thing is that there are several dark rooms that aren't the old man cave, so...
Oh, the old man cave, that's in where he goes, the hut, is the backside of Desert Palace.
Ah, so they are in the same world. We're finding all the dungeons on Dungeon Mountain. And we are getting the laser bridge check. I don't think we've seen anything exciting just yet. Although we did see, it looks like 2 keys.
Yep, 2 keys it would have to be in a compass, so...
So the logic does assume that you would enter through this entrance at some point.
Wouldn't it be funny if Trinex had something?
But they don't have...
Ooh, there's the cane
the
of our
ice rod yet,
tracker.
do they? No, they don't have the ice rod. So
Okay.
Trinex is not beatable just yet. What if Trinex had the lamp?
That would be mean. He's opting to do the reverse dark room.
Oh right, they do have the cane of Brian, or Pika the cane of Brian. Oh no, that was on the laser bridge. That's what happened. Okay.
Yep. What's the for this chest?
For another key.
And that's his last bomb.
The interesting thing, ooh, synchronized game overs. The interesting thing is that if you're doing TR from the back, you basically don't need any keys, because all of the locked doors are forward facing.
That is true. Obviously, you won't use a key if you're going through a door a certain way in this particular game. So you can go, like, for example, upstairs in Ice Palace, and you won't need to use a key there.
Right. They'll actually be able to check all the other chests in this dungeon, which is still thus far outside the logic.
No.
Oh, no.
He untransformed right as he was going in the door, and that just froze him in place long enough for that eyeball to snipe him.
And that puts him all the way back at Laser Bridge. Oof.
He is determined, though.
I mean, it is tempting to want to do this. I would say, other than the fact that he's doing it in reverse, this room is one of the easier dark rooms when you know the general path.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's obviously on rails, so the only real danger is if you take a wrong turn, you're probably going to be very frustrated.
Invictus also doing the reverse TR. We haven't thus far been able to get to the top of Death Mountain, have we?
I don't believe so, no.
We haven't found an entrance that has led up there, and we don't have the mirror, so Hera and the top of Paradox Cave, as well as any cave that you can jump down from, mostly from the upper right side, are still out of reach.
I'm very curious where this lamp is. I'm expecting Ice Palace at this point of the things we've seen.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the first chest.
Because that Bombos was very early. Oh,
Right.
Invictus almost getting sniped as well.
I'm surprised that no one really went for it, although I guess probably no one really wants to have to double dip ice.
Yeah, if you're just looking for the lantern in there, and you're comfortable with dark rooms, there's really no reason to. Good luck, Invictus. Does have that blue cane.
Big 20. And I guess that was actually a reverse-facing locked door. So these keys were necessary. But going up the steps, a key wasn't used.
And this is the most stressful TR I have ever seen.
Invictus going for that key, and quitting because he doesn't actually have the cane.
Well, that's a shame. Going through all that effort. And Kane's in a spot he can get it, too. Well, I mean, not logically, but we know. It's in that last chest in Eastern Palace. But PikaPals does have everything he needs to check these chests here. As long as he gets through the rollers, anyway. Oh god, they do so much damage, too.
There's the big key. Which now means the big chest. Well, I guess they can't actually get to the big chest. They have to find the right entrance.
Mm-hmm. Because that door doesn't play nice.
So I imagine that he's going to now check what the front entrance of TR is. Or where the front entrance is, I suppose. It's rather difficult to phrase entrance locations.
Yeah, it's...
Looks like it was on Death Mountain.
Yep, I believe that's the Spiral Cave normal location?
Right, the Spiral Cave, which would have to have been reached from the top of Death Mountain.
Did he leave a chest behind? Maybe he counted items and he didn't need it, but I feel like
he didn't open the big chest, and he couldn't beat Trinex.
There's a chest on the left side of the conveyor. He might have checked that, actually.
I think he checked that. I didn't actually see what it was, though.
Yeah. Here we are in Skullwoods. He can complete this as well.
He does need a key to open that door, though.
I don't think he's going to find it here.
So Skull Woods operates a little weirdly under full. Most of the dungeon still is located in the vanilla spot, except the entrances and drop downs are a bit shuffled in between them. But the back with Mothula can be located anywhere, and here it's located on Spectacle Rock Cave. In the Madness and Insanity shuffles, Skullwood's locations and drop downs are freely mixed.
Spike Cave is the, I believe, the other side of the Ice Rod Cave.
The wrong Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, the T's. Like, see this chest? You can't get it from here, but, I think there's fairies there, if you want them.
He's scoping out what these locations are, since he still doesn't have the Moon Pearl. We haven't seen it yet from anyone, I don't think.
No, Moon Pearl has been evading us.
Maybe that's in the first chest of Ice Palace, but then again, they don't have Dark World access anyway. Oh, well, there's the TR big chest, and
it's just the map.
Just the map. Which probably means the other item is on Trinex, if we've been counting items, which I have not been. I'm just going to assume the other item is on Trinex. So there is a glitch if you find one of those bunny beams before you have the Moon Pearl, which only happens in Entrance Shuffle because you ordinarily can't even get to bunny beams in Dark World without Super Bunny shenanigans. But if you get bunny beamed without the Moon Pearl, sometimes you can't transform back, which I believe is what Recitador had just faced.
That is unfortunate.
Ooh, GT! Where was GT? It was somewhere. GT is located in Light World.
And the first chest is the...
And it's 1!
There, guys.
So whoever predicted 1 wins the prize. Something.
Too slow. Too slow. GT and Entrance Shuffle, as I understand it, is like the treasure trove.
Oh, yes. We're gonna have the tile room check, not because we are memeing or joking around or thinking we're in last, but because it could actually have an item like bow or moon pearl or mitts.
GT is at the middle drop cave on Eastium, apparently, so...
Aha.
Just a heart piece, or a heart container, rather. Still plenty of items on the left side, though.
He can't. He doesn't have hammer, so he can't actually get those items. He can
Right.
steal a key though, and use that to explore the east side some more.
Just a burrito on Bob's torch.
Now this will technically be outside of the logic because maybe some person is going to think, "Ooh, I have the key. Now I can open the door in the middle."
We just found Mirror
Mirror.
on recitador. It's in the witch's hut, which is Bonkrox, I think.
Aha. So that means that the Harrow location is finally open.
As well as the Ether tablet.
Yes, because they have the Master Sword in the book. And that's where the lamp is.
Well, he's opting to check out Zora while he's here. Not a bad idea.
You can't afford it.
And this is the lamp, right? Oh, there's the bow!
Oh, he's staring at it. So close and yet so far.
Yeah, you do need flippers for that. Vanilla flippers, maybe?
Nothing exciting for PikaPals thus far in GT. And here it is. For a very low price of 500 rupees, you too can get a quarter of a heart.
Pat on the shoulder, I call that. You did good, kid. As he pockets your money. And then goes away for the rest of the game till the credits.
Alright, so we now know where the bow is. We found the mirror. But what is going to be
I can't
found
believe
behind ice armors?
getting the big chest check in GT, just bombs.
Believe it or not, there's a big chest in GT.
You would never know that.
Setting up the bomb jump.
You think he's gonna fight Ice Armas with just the Master Sword?
He does have the red boomerang. Master Sword is actually weaker than the Fighter Sword. Oddly. Because Fighter Sword against Armos does tempered sword damage for some reason.
This game is programmed very well.
In fairness, it is version 1.0. So
That's true. That's very true.
we do have the boom strats out. So feel free to start up the popcorn, take the bathroom break that you need,
Yeah, this is
stretch
not
your legs, come back in 10 minutes or so, and
We might be halfway through this fight.
we'll see what's behind here. Looks like Recitador is going to check what's at Hera and on the Ether tablet.
Not a bad idea. I mean, you might as well get that information. You can get an item up here too. It's guaranteed. I guarantee it.
All right, so we do have the Dark World check from Recitador. It seems like we have gotten a Dark World check from someone at some point, because the trackers, who are excellent
Yeah, they're way better
and do
than
their
us.
job very well, they earn every single penny that they're getting. Already noted down the crystals and pendants for us.
Yep. All those big 20s we give them.
And the Ether Tablet is...
No
More
bomb
bombs.
upgrade. Yeah. Well, I didn't say it would be a good item.
All right, so PikaPals has successfully slain the Ice Armos, and he has been awarded with quarter of a heart, a full heart, and $20. Congratulations.
Very, very worth it. Hera ended up being the top half of Paradox Cave.
Ah.
I mean, he has mirror, so technically he could get there from the bottom half, but now it's official.
Yeah, it is more in the logic. Or, oh, I guess, have they found the... What was the other part of... Because there's the bottom, then there's the middle, and then there's the top, which lies below the bottom.
Yeah, the bottom is on the right half of Blind's neighbor's hut, is the best way I can phrase that.
Ah.
And unfortunately, not worth it. Just getting a shield. That's the best item here, and that's...
He gets
When
his
you can say
toy
that.
shield.
Well, maybe this upstairs will lead somewhere interesting. You know it's a bad spot when you can say, well, I got a shield. And that's it.
And he pulls off the bomb jump.
Yep, that's one of the easier ones, just to like YOLO. I guess you're gonna use that phrase, which I just did.
Unlike most of the bomb jumps, I feel like that bomb jump, if you move left, as long as you don't keep holding left, the game sort of locks you onto the leftmost pixel. And that takes you to the left side of the main game,
That
giving
is-
him the hammer!
It is such a good spot for that to lead to. Oh my gosh.
Giving Recitador a massive edge. So that mirror is required, at least
Yeah.
for now,
Actually ended up being required for that spot.
to be able to get to that hammer.
Just not the way we were talking about.
So now they just need the Moon Pearl for Dark World access.
I'm calling Ice Palace for that.
First chest of Ice Palace. That is the recurring joke of this run.
I'm telling
First
you,
chest of Ice Palace has everything,
it has to be there. Everything can be in that chest,
including the kitchen sink.
including the kitchen sink. Yes. PikaPals going into Thieves Town. He has not been here yet.
Oh, right,
So-
the hammer does open up more of GT. In fact, it should fully open the bottom part, yeah.
That's very true. That's a lot of chests along the way. Obviously, Ice Armos is a bust, but... Well, that's right. You don't need hammer to go upstairs, but you do need the bow to get very far. So we're about 1 hour in. Got some good items, but still missing something very important. We haven't even checked
You're
the Dark
right.
World yet.
You're right. The bow is pretty important. Also the mushroom. This game is unwinnable without the mushroom. Recitador's finally checking Ice Palace. We're gonna see which meme was correct. Well, we know it can't be bow, and it can't be hammer, because he has the hammer. In fact, Ice Palace is completable, Ethan.
Yep.
This will be Recitador's first pendant.
I mean, you don't want to complete Ice Palace with just these items, but you certainly can.
And all of these items were in the logic. So it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I would be surprised if the lamp is not in here.
Yeah, I can't imagine where else that would be. Oh, okay.
Well, it was red. And it was round.
It does the opposite thing, though. It blocks fire instead of, like, protruding it in, like, cones of light. It's not what you want. Well, still 2 items in here. Though if the lamp is much further in here, it's going to be very convoluted logic. Cassius Bernard, has Magic Bat been checked? No, Magic Bat is in the Lumberjack Cave, which is, we don't know where Aghanim is, so we don't have the lamp to get to him, so... Lots of, problems with checking him right now, unfortunately. And we don't have the powder either, so...
No powder, we don't know where Aghanim is, and no boots.
Powder is like
but Ganon is found... He is found just east of the sanctuary, or vanilla sanctuary spot. And a frequently asked question is, if you find Ganon, can you beat him as soon as you can? And the answer is no. In this mode, you cannot get past his 4th phase. He is invincible on phase 4 until you have gotten 7 crystals and beaten Aga 2, also known as Clear GT.
Yep, I mean, you can fight him, but you can't beat him.
And yes, the drop spots and their exit caves are still linked together in full mode. So having found the exit of Ganon means that we know the drop down is also Ganon.
Alright, here we go. Next item in Ice Palace coming up very shortly. $50.
Oh, 1 item left. Invictus about to get his hammer.
Rick picking up his mirror. That'll set him on the right path. And he's gonna see where the bow is. Will he stare at it? Nope. But he did see it, so he's going to get his little bit of love from Zora.
Bomb jumps are not required in the logic, and in fact, you don't need to bomb jump to get to that hammer spot. If you enter the Hera entrance, which you can do with the mirror, that takes you to the middle of Paradox Cave, at which point you can go to the top of Paradox Cave, exit out to the left side of the maze game, and then get your hammer.
Mm-hmm. The bomb jump is mostly for convenience. It's not ever going to be required.
The bomb jump there was just so he could check the 7 items in that cave, and then check the other exits.
You'll see that bomb jump in normal render too, but it's just to save time climbing stairs to get to the top of Death Mountain. Alright, what are you? The compass.
The plate of nachos.
There's a key. So Ice Palace hasn't been the award-winning item spot that we've been hoping for quite yet. But there is one item left.
What will it be?
It's a big key. Oh, getting run all over the place. Oh, we have PikaPals going back through the sewer. Gonna check the sewer chest.
This hasn't been checked yet, as far as I recall.
I believe you're correct. Nobody had anything really useful for getting through the dark. What's going on, recitador? He can't move that block.
What? The block is unmovable?
What happened? I don't understand. Is it a moon pearl bug, maybe? Oh, there he goes. Okay. All that trouble for the other small key.
No one knows what happened there.
He maybe he's tired. I don't know. Running all over the place in this freezing dungeon. Just needed a minute. Alright, well, Cold Stare has the last item.
Was the other chest checked?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I remember it. Yeah, he did, right.
This fight can be rough. With just the green mail, because Cold Stare does a lot of hug damage.
Ooh, he misses the sword spin.
No fire rod, too.
strats. Right, fire rod.
No, well, he has that blue potion.
Logic. But he hasn't been to Meyer yet. Yeah, this would be a lot easier if he had the fire rod. He would just spam the fire rod shots and then chug the blue potions like there's no tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, with that not being an option, it's something that requires a great deal of patience because of how much damage Cold Stare will do to you if he touches you.
So a nice strategy is to... if you hug the top wall, the falling ice doesn't break into 4 pieces. So you still have to dodge the initial hit, but you don't have to worry about the randomness of whether it's going to split vertically and horizontally or diagonally.
Yeah, that's true. Most projectiles behave that way. Even if you get like a blind up into the top wall during his fight, he won't shoot out the red projectiles because he'll be too far in the wall.
Aha.
That's not actually a very helpful thing to know, but it does happen.
Pika is going to get his mirror. And now all 4 mirrors have been obtained.
We have Invictus going to the rando room now in GT.
We got a compass, rupees, blue mail, and a mystery item.
Yeah. We won't know what that is until he pauses, unfortunately, and given they have a quick swap for items, might be a while.
Oh boy.
Gotta keep it interesting. Oh, it was Boots!
Oh, it's the boots!
Well, it wasn't a mystery for as long as I was expecting.
We were literally saying, what was it? It's the boots!
Wow, that's We weren't trying to be funny, we just didn't see it.
What were they? Oh, boots were earlier, apparently. Oh, probably earlier in GT. Ah!
Oh, okay.
Dang!
I guess that would have been too perfect. We're in top
That's
room.
it. Cancel the clip. Cancel the clip, kids.
Yeah.
There's nothing to see here.
Pack it up. Boots were in the stall boost room, apparently. Still a very nice item to find. That does open up the Baccarox entrance. And later it will open up King's Tube. Clipping anyway, don't do it. Invictus is also opting to do this slow fight. I mean, actually, you don't have a choice at this point.
It is in the logic.
Yeah. Logic will make you do some very unfun things.
And Rick's gonna get his hammer. Interesting, the top two runners are in the crystal lead with 1 crystal each, but in terms of progression items, a little bit behind their lower counterparts. Well, I guess Recitador is missing several items.
Just a teeny bit. Once Rick gets that hammer, he'll be a boots behind, I guess, of Invictus.
So if you are enjoying what you're seeing, be sure to give these runners a follow. They are all exciting to watch, and I'm sure their streams themselves are also exciting to participate in that word. But you should also partake the streams.
Absolutely.
Participation, if you will.
Alright, we have Recitador going in for round 2. Hopefully he has better luck this time.
Oh, and we're getting the Upper Death Mountain check. Was this for Ice Palace? No, Ice Palace was not here.
This should be, what is this? This is Turtle Rock? I think?
Right, he's taking the death here. Has he checked the front, or did he not have the cane at that point?
I'm not sure.
Or was that Invictus? No, it looks like he hasn't checked the front. He does have keys, so he did at least go through the laser bridge section.
That's true, yes, he absolutely did. Oh no. Recitador taking another the cold stare.
Oh.
4 hearts of damage with green mail.
Well, if he remembers to go back to GT, he could get blue mail and extra hearts.
If he goes into Mire, you get the Fire Rod. Either one of those items will make this a lot simpler for him. Although, I guess one of the weird things about Invictus Randomizer is you don't always know where potion shops are. So it can be hard to refill your safeties.
I don't think we have found the potion shop yet, or at least I've missed it.
I think it's just been regular shops which only sell the red potions, not the blue ones you want.
And it also makes turning in the mushroom fun, because you find the mushroom and you can give it to the witch, and then you still have to find the witch's hut to claim your prize.
This entrance shuffler just turns everything into a game with the simple transaction of giving a witch a mushroom.
Yeah, it turns into the game of which entrance is which.
I thought you were done with this. But you're
lied.
still pinning around.
Oh, the boots were in the Stalfos room. I can at least claim the chat was not lying.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
I really wish it was in Random Room.
Yeah, it would be better if it was in that. Yeah. But at least we'll actually get to see what the missing item was. As long as we remember to pay attention.
Oh, so we're taking another death.
So no one's checked the upper Paradox Cave entrance. Was that because they had found that location before, or?
You know, I'm not sure, but I think you're right that nobody's actually walked out from the top side. It's been gone up the stairs and...
Yeah, they hit the hammer pegs and they've been jumping down.
Well, to be fair, you know, that led to the maze game. So the prospect of the hammer probably took priority in their mind.
No, I meant the no, sorry, not the inside. Like, where does the upper exit lead? But more like on the overworld, the vanilla upper Paradox Cave. Where does that lead?
I'm not sure. I don't think it's been checked. Could be wrong. Probably am. But...
Since everyone's been neglecting it, it sort of seems like that they've already determined it.
You would think that would be the case, yeah.
And the missing item was
bombs.
Bombs. Rick is entering IP, and once he gets to Cold Stare, we'll have the easier fight because of the Ice Rod, but without half magic, he will have to be careful with this hit. As long as he still has his blue potion, though. Mm-hmm. Or blue potions, maybe.
I believe it's a blue and a red.
Okay, unless, then your blue potion, singular, as long as he uses it well, things will be fine. Invictus going to the Dark World and forgetting he doesn't have the Moon Pearl. I was surprised. I thought I missed the Moon Pearl.
Where the heck is that at this point? That and the lamp's like really bothering me. Though lamp could be on Cold Stare. I haven't given up hope on that.
Getting some bonk rock checks. Hookshot Cave is in the logic. Or not, sorry, not Hookshot Cave. It's White Cave. That cave. Sorry,
that's Hookshot is useful here, but that's one of the spots that you normally don't go to in normal random, but it ends up being very important here. Oh, there's the Moon Pearl. Wow, that's a... Huh.
And he's deciding to back out of that. And that was just outside of Link's house, too, so I'm surprised that he's not saving quitting to Link's house. Saves the magic. And barely survives the rest.
He made it in and out and lived to tell the tale, I guess.
Alright, so now he can go back to that Dark World spot. But he's not. He's going up here. Would have been pretty cool to be like, oh, I forgot I don't have Moon Pearl. Well, I guess I'll just over here and get it.
Well, he got shanked by the guard, so... Unfortunate, but that Moon Pearl does put him decently ahead right now.
It does. And that actually opens up way more locations for the lamp. Unfortunately.
Oh no. Oh no. You are absolutely right. Every so often you'll get these seeds even in normal rando where the lamp will be in this ridiculous spot. Like a 3 or 4 long item chain. Even though that's one of the most basically required items in a lot of places. Recitador did come into Mire, so he'll find that fire rod.
Graveyard ledge located behind Bonk Rocks. This is a really nice location to be able to find very early on shuffle because of the bombs under the pots. When you don't have any other weapon, bombs are your friend, and having those 4 bombs right there helps a lot. Finding it this late, though, it's not too special.
Yeah, it's not too helpful now. I mean, he's got swords, he's got hammers, he's got hook shots.
Oh my! Is Pod the only dungeon in Dark World? We have not found Swamp as far as I recall. We've not found Hera. And I think that's it. Pod, Swamp, Hera.
I believe you're correct.
Oh, Swamp was indeed Death Mountain. Okay. It's behind the Mitz rock spot. Okay. I was incorrect. Don't believe the commentators' lies. We're lying to you about everything. We don't actually see anything.
We're testing you guys.
We've just been making up information and hoping that it follows the video image that's being shown to you.
Alright, well, we still don't know the locations of Ice Rod or Flippers, or the lamp, which are all technically required. Some less technically than others.
Right, Flippers are required because Swamp is a crystal.
For bow.
And yeah, it does lead to bow. Lamp is logically required. And then the Ice Rod for Trinix, yes. And in terms of logic, we also need Tempered Sword and this will... But who really needs those?
Oh, we do have silvers at least, so that's nice.
Oh! Never mind, we do have silvers. I was misreading the tracker.
Well, Cold Stare only had more money, so... As you can see, Rick and PikaPals just put them to bed.
Someone got Ice Rod. I don't see it on the tracker side.
Neither do I. I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah, some really good Cold Stare fights from Pika and Rick.
Showing how powerful that Fire Rod can be.
Yeah,
and
Fire Rod
getting
definitely augments fighting.
Yeah. As does getting that early spin to keep them all bunched up. Makes your life a whole lot easier.
Apparently, Rick didn't even do Fire Rod strats. It's like I'm not even watching what's happening on stream.
Can I take Cold Stare and like put him in my face so I can have enough eyes to watch all 4 runners at the same time?
I'm just sitting here trying to come up with puns, okay?
You know, I actually don't have a hard time believing that.
The question is, when will the other runners get their Moon Pearl? Because Invictus, I don't think, has even used it yet.
Not quite yet. It's in a... I wouldn't say it's an inconvenient spot to check, but you obviously have to go back into GTA to get the boots before you can do that.
Right, Pika is at least the most set up for that, but he doesn't seem to be heading in that direction. Oh, here we are getting the upper Paradox Cave check. It's a dark room.
Huh.
And that's all we know.
Well, I heard a bat. Maybe that could... Is that the other side of the old man cave? Or it could be, I don't know. I don't think it is.
Yeah, the problem is there are too many dark rooms that are just caves that are useless, but you might want to go through them anyway to see what's on the other side. At this point, I don't know if there's any real light rolled location worth checking, but...
Well, Rick's about to...
Alright. Alrighty then.
Well, what are those? Well, I mean, we knew they were there, but... Rick has them now.
I find the half audio amusing with the items sometimes. It's like You got this thing! You got this thing! Okay. Anyway. I don't think we're really exploring any new location yet.
Not
this is
yet.
all...
This big chest might be new. And Thieves Town.
Aha! This is new.
Well,
it was new. It's not particularly exciting.
I need a sad version of that jingle when you get like a crap item like bombs.
Yeah, let's have that as a setting. When you get something that is not progression, just move everything down a half step and make it dissonant with the game.
Whatever the musical version of like a half shoulder shrug is. There you go.
Alright, Vika's getting his Moon Pearl.
Yep, good for him checking that so fast, because he is now technically quite a bit in the lead, because he has 2 crystals on Invictus. Though it's really hard to tell who's in the lead in these, honestly.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky. As soon as we get the flippers, I think we'll have more of a gauge of who's in the lead. Because that will open up, or that will, I guess East Palace is a pendant, actually. But it will make Pod completable.
And Hype Cave is Pyramid Fairy.
And still not that hype.
Well, Pyramid Fairy itself isn't usually very rarely hyped, so...
Right.
Oh, we also need mitts. I completely forgot.
Are mitts required?
Are they? I guess
in entrance, they aren't always required.
That's a good point.
I mean, they could be.
Yeah, entrance shuffle and Randomizer are very tricky with that.
Yeah, chat's having quite a buzz about my comments on the B bottle being useless.
What are you combing through there for people talking about you?
Alright, Bumbo's tablet check. Big 20.
Not as explosive as we would hope. Oh, Rick, having a little trouble with these knights on ice. To be fair, this is a very annoying fight without them.
And ultimately, not required.
Yeah, sadly he doesn't know that.
Yeah, how could he know that? But at least if he does... Well, when he dives. Since he died. With the boots, he does have some more locations to check.
Will he leave? No, he's sticking
Nah,
around.
he's stubborn. Which I am too, to be fair. Aha! Potion shop has been found! It is the cave below the grove. Do-do-do-do.
No, yeah, he's just saying bye-bye. I don't blame him. I don't want to do that either.
Yeah, it's really far away. Ooh, library has the...
There's
Now
Quack.
it's actually a lot less... Ooh, swamp has been found.
Yep.
Oh, no, never mind. Swamp. We already knew where swamp was. We still need the dam. But yeah, unfortunately in entrance shuffle, the medallions are a little less valuable. The locations that are guarded by them aren't necessarily going to be dungeons or even required.
Bombos would be the most useful of them, obviously because it gives you deeper access to the Ice Palace and such.
Right.
So not too different from normal randomizer in that sense, where medallions can also be equally useless. Just they can be extra useless here.
Invictus getting his first crystal, getting him on the board. Pedestal has a piece of heart, if I recall.
Sadly, this is not a pedestal seed.
Well, if the mode was to get to 20 hearts, it actually would be a pedestal.
That's true. I wonder if we can arrange that to happen now.
Let's just slyly add that to the top banner. Entrance shuffle, 20 hearts.
Yeah.
Mitts in the Hype Cave. Hype Cave is hype. Where was the Hype Cave? It was in Dark
bomb
Rodent's
shop.
house.
Yeah.
Aha!
So what does the Dark Spite Cave have for us? Just to vary. Well, Mitz is still nice. I mean, there's a few locations that you actually can't get into. That might be required.
Opens up the Lumberjack. It opens up Purple Chest. Opens up Dark Death Mountain. Or at least... well, yeah, I guess... Yeah, Dark Death Mountain in its entirety, because you could either do the turtle spot or the portal on Southeast Death Mountain, which doesn't necessarily get you to Upper Death Mountain in Entrance Shuffle.
Yeah, that's very true. It's something you gotta be careful of.
It does also open up the mire area, indeed, but they need the flute for that.
Sadly, there's no entrance that leads to that particular cliff in this mode, even in this mode.
Right, the cliff itself, right, but they can actually still exit out of mire.
Yes, it's true.
Which is pretty exciting. Until you realize you can't re-enter the cave unless you have the right medallion, which conveniently Pika has all the medallions. Alright, we're checking the pod area.
Lots
Soon
of
we're
fairies.
going to have the wonderful question of what is Kiki guarding? It'd be amazing if Kiki was still guarding pod. In which case, you'd have to wonder if this game is even shuffled.
I don't think it is.
Because of the single location that is the same.
Yeah.
Clearly invalidates the rest. No, there are still many possibilities. It cannot be the dam because the dam is a single entrance cave and Pod is in the double entrance pool.
Oh, it's a
Ooh.
spiral cave. What will it be? Big 20, so...
For 110 rupees, you too can get 20 rupees.
And you get thrown out of the closed mouth of Turtle Rock.
Alright, so this takes us to Upper Death Mountain.
Very inconvenient path. It's a dark room. We don't know much more than that.
If you were to check Turtle Rock's entrance, you would find the bottom of Spiral Cave. Because this is not madness or insanity. The entrances and exits are not decoupled. And Hookshot Cave, or the Hookshot Cave entrance, leads to the Turtle Rock emergency exit, so not too exciting. This cave on the right is actually a single entrance cave. The cave on the left is a double entrance.
And it's dark.
Which reminds us, we still don't know where the lamp is.
Where in the world is that freaking lamp?
Yeah, we would really like to shed some light on this mystery.
Oh, for sure.
That opens up also the Ice Palace dungeon location. Oh, but they don't have flippers, so it would be a sequence break. But as I remember someone saying on one of the Discords, everyone and their brother knows how to fake flipper. I believe this was in response to the festive mode where all of the lakes were frozen.
Mm-hmm.
And how that was technically a sequence break, but regardless, people would fake flipper anyway.
Yeah, that's very true. The only thing that I think you could get without fake flippering would be the Lech item, which is nice in that mode. But fake flipper is a very simple glitch. Even if you don't know how to do it, it's very easy to set up just by bombing yourself or bonking near one of the screen transitions that has water on it.
Aha! Dam has been found in Village of Outcasts.
Ooh, and a nice red shirt form right there.
Alright, so Rick and Recitador still missing out on that Moon Pearl. Rick does have the boots. Recitador needs to go back to GT to get that.
Rick, you having trouble with that chest? What's going on? He couldn't open that chest. Unless I'm crazy.
He also had issues with pushing the block, didn't he?
I think that was Recitador, but yeah.
Oh. The entire left side of the stream is just twitchy today, apparently. Oh, we got stuck as a bunny. That's what happened. I couldn't actually tell the sprite. Okay. It's that glitch with getting bunny beamed with the Moon Pearl that we were talking about earlier. But at least now you can avoid... Okay, he did. He avoided the bunny beam.
All that effort for a key that he spent to get there anyway. Well, there's
Ooh.
Pod.
Pod found on the Turtle Rock laser, not the laser bridge, but the other laser room exit.
The left side of the bridge that takes you to Mimic Cave, rather.
Can be pretty hard to be able to get to that location in Entrance Shuffle, because you basically have to find the right set of caves to get to that bridge. But he's found it, and
Sadly, he's going to come back here.
yeah, and assuming he can do dark rooms, which at this point he probably will. I mean, you don't want to have to return to Pod when it's this out of the way.
Pod isn't too bad. If you have a map, like if you put up a map on like your second mod or whatever, the dark maze is actually pretty easy.
The hardest room for me is the one of the dark rooms before the boss with all of the turtles you have to flip over and kill with the hammer. But at least with the fire rod, you can light up one of the torches.
That's very true. That's one of the tougher rooms for sure. He won't be able to get there quite yet, but
Oh, right! He doesn't have the bow. I forgot. We know where the bow is, but we don't have the bow yet.
yeah, they teased us.
So...
Oh, did Rick fall by accident? Or...
if the flippers are in Pod, that will be amazing. I missed what happened on Rick's side.
I don't know, I saw a lot of frustration slashes. Maybe he's not sure what to do now.
Yeah. Bonk rocks. Bonk rocks. Not the bonk rocks, but other bonk rocks.
Well, he heard you the first time, maybe.
Oh, he has no magic. Oh, that's the problem.
Ah, okay.
So there are, like, so it can be a little tricky to get magic with Entrance Shuffle, but there is a tree you can bonk into north of Kakariko that always has a full magic pot.
The one right near the warp.
Right, just north of the warp, past the hammer pegs. Oh, he also doesn't have invincibility. Oh, right. Oh, jeez.
Oh, but I thought you went to Turtle Rock. Didn't you go to Turtle Rock? That you should have the blue cane if you did.
He was in Turtle Rock, and it was on Laser Bridge.
It's very curious. Okay, we have PikaPals attempting the hammer jump. A jump I can't do myself.
Ooh, he's even said I have the double bomb for that. That's exciting. It's a, like every bomb jump, it's a pixel perfect jump, made trickier by the fact that you have limited time. But with pause buffering, you tend to have enough time to do this. Looks like he's having issues getting the right pixel.
I believe this one's a double pixel perfect one, whereas some of the other ones, there's leeway near X and Y pixels, depending on where it is. But
I don't think the X pixel is as important, but the Y definitely is. But I'm probably wrong. I don't know. Oh no, I guess like it's okay. Double pixel. I see what you mean with double pixel. My bad. I take back everything I said. Let's start over again. Hi, I'm Lou Dolphin. I'll be one of the commentators today, along with Mallet.
Oh, gosh.
So you have to get the bomb in the right pixel, then you have to get Link in the right pixel. Is the problem. I had issues with learning the jump because the pixels I was looking for, like the bomb placement pixel, two of the pixels looked the same to me until I realized the subtle difference. Now I get the jump consistently.
Yeah. I think that's very important to learn if you're going to do key sanity a lot, because it saves you a key. So that's a different mode. He did get Tempered Sword for his trouble.
That is pretty useful. Makes Ganon easier, although with the silver arrows, it's I guess it's still easier to get past the first two phases. Fortunately, the Dark Maze pretty lacking.
And I believe that's all you can do there for the moment. Wow, that fairy does not want to be near Rick right now. Just flew off down like the speed of sound. Oh well. Bo was seen at the Zora ledge. Uber Mikey. So we're just waiting for the flippers to be able to get that. PikaPals falling into a part of Schoolwoods that you normally don't really go to, ever. But this is the first check of Schoolwoods that we've actually had for items, I believe.
With the key, he can now fight Mothula.
It's very true, he can.
I believe Mothula was on Spectacle Rock Cave? Or was that Thieves Town?
No, you're right. Thieves Town was eastern, whereas Skullwoods is Spectacle Rock Cave.
Aha. Alright, so we found Pod. And we still need the... No, we found the dam. We need flippers.
Yep, somebody drained
Swamp.
it. I don't think they went to check what the item was, though.
And we need the ice rod for Trinex. And then we'll be good to go. Because we know where Ganon is, and we know where GT is. Ganon is located in the drop down east of the sanctuary spot. So I believe that's a fairy cave in vanilla.
I believe so. It's you usually don't go in there anyway, unless you like mess up setting up Houlihan and you're doing that flipper list route. Oh, Rick's got one heart.
Oof.
And I think he's going back to Ice Armos too, so not a good spot for that.
He thinks that has to be behind Ice Armos. I guess it makes sense. There's 3 items back there versus Spike Cave has 1.
Yeah. And he forgot that blue cane, so he must not think it's in the logic, or he hasn't found it. I'm not sure.
True.
Because for a long time, Spike Cave did not have that requirement for an Invincibility item, but because of one-hit KO mode, they added it. I believe is how that works.
It was after there was a week, within the span of 1 week, there were 2 seeds that had progression in Spike Cave, but you only had like 5 hearts and no invincibility or bottles.
Well, I approve of the change then, because that's a weird situation to get soft locked in. I feel bad for Rick, because he's going through all this trouble to get to Ice Armos, and he's going to get nothing for it.
Poor Rick. Recitador's at least entering GT to get his boots now. Which will eventually maybe get him his Moon Pearl.
I hope so.
Did he already fight? But did he beat Ice Armos yet?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna say no.
PikaPals entering the Dark World.
Oh, and it's actually Grove would be with that spot normally, but it's just a piece of art.
I believe it's the Dark World shop, the only one that sells arrows in the game. I believe it also sells the Fire Shield and the Super Bee.
Yep, another place you normally in normal rando, unless like you really need arrows, would never go to. That's a bad location for that shop. That too. How are your customers supposed to get there?
So why is it taking us an hour and 45 minutes to get 2 crystals? I believe those 2 crystals actually were gotten a while ago.
Yep.
But part of the issue was that Moon Pearl was in Spike Cave, which was located behind a bonk rock, with the boots in Ganon's tower, locked behind the hammer, which was located on the maze race, which you needed the mirror from Witch's Hut to get to. So it's a pretty nasty sequence of items to really get to real overworld not progression, but I guess
Baby steps.
baby
Is the word I would
steps
use.
for overworld baby steps. But even then, I don't think we've even seen that much since we've been able to get to Dark World. We got the mitts from the Hype Cave located at the bomb shop in Dark World, but we need the flippers to get the bow. We need the ice rod to beat Trinex. And then that's actually pretty much it at this point, because I think we've found the dungeons.
And keep in mind, Lantern has to be in here somewhere, as far as the logic goes. But we haven't found it yet.
We're getting the blacksmith check.
Do you guys forge lanterns, maybe? Nope.
Nope, just a refund.
Just counterfeiting some money.
For 10 rupees, you too can get 50 rupees. If only it was like a
And I wish
continual
you-
deal.
Yeah, if I could get that deal in real life, I'd just quit doing everything and just play rando all day.
Rick's doing Ice Armos again with 1 heart. The bow is on Zora Ledge.
No, no. No, 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 no.
Oh,
Oh, my.
Rick.
So close to getting that hug. If you can just get to the red one, this will be a lot easier. Because I don't think the red one can actually hurt you if you just keep charging your sword.
Meanwhile, Recitador has sword beams, which help tremendously because you don't have to get anywhere close. Rick's on the red one, and now at half a heart, he just has to keep slashing and hope that he doesn't get tired.
Oh, bug net, bug net, bug net. Amazing item. Who's in the Dark Witch's Hut?
Ah, he's done it! He's done it!
Thank goodness.
And he
sorry,
gets
but-
his 1.25 hearts and 20 rupees.
Show me the anger. Oh, he doesn't show the anger.
No anger.
I guess his hand was tired.
So now
That's
he's super confused, thinking, what have I missed? Thought I checked everything. Which is always one of the worst moments.
It's a weird spot where the cane of Byron is the one item that's like locked him in a cage of non-progression that normally doesn't happen.
I don't know if it's necessarily good form to discuss what's happening in the SRL chat, but there are a lot of people crying about the seed in there.
Yeah, let's just say the frustration is all around.
I would actually sort of enjoy to be playing the seed right now, not gonna lie. I just love troll seeds.
You are a strange fish, you know that?
I am a strange fish. But I don't know, I feel like I would have some insights. You might call me a shrewd porpoise. Porpoise. I actually... Never mind, I'm not going to continue this joke because I don't know how that word is pronounced.
Do you know where all the items are because echolocation is at it?
I believe that is my purpose.
Your purpose is...
My purpoise.
Oh.
So he just needs that cane of Burna. In order for Spike Cave to really be in the logic, and then he'll get his Moon Pearl. But he has to go back into TR and get it from Laser Bridge.
Technically, I mean, with this heart count and the money he can easily acquire, he could just buy a red potion. I think the issue is that he doesn't actually know where it is.
Oh, right, yeah, red potions are reachable.
Like, if you're Rick, you have to assume, okay, I missed something somewhere. Maybe I missed Cape, maybe I missed the blue cane, and whatever I need is in Spike Cave.
Alright, Pika beats Monthula and gets the big key. Have both items in Skull been gotten at this point? I don't know. Wasn't there like 20 rupees in the bridge chest? Or 50 rupees or something?
I'm not sure. Off the top of my head, anyway. Rick is checking the locations he's already checked, just to be sure, I guess. So... Huh.
Red mail was located in the dam.
Mhm.
I forget where the dam was, though.
Dam was the potion shop in Village Outcasts. Black Idea Hammer Pegs.
Yeah, PikaPals doing pretty well, is in the lead. He also, I believe, is the winner of the entrance shuffle tournament, so certainly quite used to entrance shuffles.
Yeah, comes as no surprise then that he's doing the best of the four featured. But this is also a very tough seed, so...
It is brutal. Oh, Gem beat him. Never mind, I lied. I take everything back.
Wow.
PikaPal's the loser of the entrance shuffle. So it's surprising that he's doing really well.
Oh, boy.
So I don't know what is drawing our attention right now. Waiting for Rick and Recitador to get the cane to get the Moon Pearl. PikaPal's trying to find the flippers.
Recitador found the mirror shield.
Aha.
So I said something. Rick got the
Doesn't help with Spy Cave, unfortunately.
no, he got the big
But at
20
least
in
it
Lumberjack
does
Cave at
put
least.
Laser Bridge more in logic, maybe? Maybe that's the hint to go back to Laser Bridge. You can do it. It's completable. So I believe he was the first person to find it and then gave up because he only had 4 hearts or something.
Yeah, he had some trouble on the bridge. Though I don't know, I just think they just didn't. They probably haven't checked that Bonkrot spot because I don't see any reason not to do it, even with the logic saying you can't do this. I don't know. That's just me, though.
I mean, it's certainly a location they could check if they remember that it exists. Certainly, one of the harder things in Entrance Rando is not just like remembering the locations that you normally check in normal shuffle, but also the ones that are useless, because they might not be useless in Entrance Shuffle. And in this case, the bonk rocks there aren't useless.
That was something that when I was still new to Entrance Randomizer, because I hadn't played Link to the Past for quite a long time, I had trouble finding quite a few things just because they were in spots that in normal rando you never see them.
Yeah, when I first got an Entrance Shuffle, there wasn't a really good entrance tracker yet, so I had to pull open full maps of the overworld and keep looking at that map and thinking, oh, I can check this location now. Oh, I can check this location now. And my first seeds always took like 4 to 5 hours, and it was... There's the lamp! It was in the lunchbox all along!
What? Man, that's...
So Dark World, and all of the convolutions to get there, plus the myths, plus returning the blacksmith and then the purple chest to get that lamp.
That is... I've seen lamp in some mean spots, but because this is Entrance Randomizer...
And this is why dark rooms and Entrance Shuffle are super valuable to know.
Imagine if that was their only fire source for a long time, either. That would be...
Unfortunately, that doesn't help Pika at all, because he's checked all the dark rooms. So it's not even progression at this point. It's just sort of like... You did it, trophy! You did the dark rooms! As proof of your success, we give you this lamp, so you can look at what you just bypassed in the dark rooms.
Yeah, he's done all the relevant dark rooms. He could go fight Vitreous, but that will not yield an item because they found both of them in Mystery Mire.
He's going to be checking Aghanim's tower. Or no, this was... He already,
This is
already
Mire.
entered this. Oh, he is going to do Vitreous.
So maybe he's thinking, well, I'll just go kill Vitreous while I think about what I'm going to do.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't hurt. They do have crystals 5-6 already, or he does at least, if I'm reading this tracker right. Or am I?
Are you?
Do I see asterisks on Skull and Ice Palace? Or is there... Oh, no, that's TR. No.
Rock is the other one.
Okay, never mind. It doesn't have it. So I'm looking at Pika's, and I don't see stars, but the other two do, so... Or the other, well, bottom two.
I think that's just Mothula's tail.
Yeah, it's just Mothula's tail. Okay.
His big shiny butt, yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking at a 2007 cell phone image quality of the race.
Yeah. Something that might not be immediately obvious to people who are watching is that the restream's a little bit lower quality. Because streaming is hard, and this is just one of the things we have to deal with. And some things that show up on the stream are not as clear as they are to you. I mean, we are idiots, kind of, but sometimes it's not our fault.
It's basically, so it's VHS quality footage, because we're harkening to the good old days of submitting VHS tapes to Speed Demo's archive in order for them to be converted digitally. So you can download this 700 megabyte MP3 so you can see Banjo-Kazooie beaten in 5 hours.
Is that why? Is that really why? Right. Well, let's think here. After you beat the Trius, if you're PikaPals, where do you go now?
Wow, that's some pretty good eyeball killing there. Pretty effective. I don't know. It's hard to even think about like what's been missed at this point.
Yeah. Huh. Well, Pyramid's been checked, yes. So's Catfish.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And they haven't found the bomb shop yet. At least I don't remember seeing the bomb shop. Or no, never mind. 5-6 is even still out of the question. Never mind. Keep thinking we can do 5-6.
So you know what I would love at this point is if Bat is required somehow. Like
we haven't even found Aghanim's Tower yet. I mean, if we find it, it is completable, and now we can get the item.
We still need powder too. I'm just saying. I'm planning for the future.
They don't have powder. Setting up a fake flipper here. Oh, he's probably gonna check the Dark World shopping mall, or maybe even. Well, I guess that would be in Light World that you get to the Ice Palace, but he can at least check the Dark World shopping mall, or he'll take the fake flipper death because those guys are annoying.
You can somehow run into a flying bat that's like realistically like 20 feet above him, but because this is a 2D game, he gets hit. It's like when you get hit by a boulder on Death Mountain that's like 20 feet above you.
Oh, have the flippers been found at the Bumper Cave exit? I didn't even see that. So that's even more annoying, if that is true.
Is that really where they are? That is... Okay, Rick found the cane.
Yeah, you got the cane of Bran, and you got the Moon Pearl, and now he's like, oh my gosh. I'm sure he's thinking right now, oh my gosh, everyone on the restream is probably miles ahead of me. Which is...
Wow.
Actually, I didn't even notice that recitador also got the Moon Pearl. I guess that statement is still true. So, Rick, if you're listening, I'm so sorry. I still love you. But I just love everyone else more. And I'm kidding.
Okay, so...
I'm fired.
So think about this, okay? Logically, Laser Bridge needs invincibility, or the Mirror Shield. And your invincibility item is on Laser Bridge. So, did the logic intend for you to get Mirror Shield before you got that?
I believe technically yes.
That...
So that is even more deep
Goodness gracious.
Item dependencies. Bomb shop is in the waterfall cave. I feel like that's not really a safe place for the waterfall shop, or for the bomb shop.
Can you swim with the super bomb?
I feel like I've seen it done, but I also know if you jump off a ledge, But I imagine you can grab the bomb, exit, and then flute away if you had the flute.
Yeah, I think that would be possible. Wow. The situations you see in Entrance Randomizer really make you think.
Alright, so Invictus is doing pod things.
Rick is gonna get his mitts right now.
Mitts. And that is the last item that we found, progression mark. in the
Maybe,
past.
maybe Quake? Maybe?
Oh, right, Quake, right.
Nothing is certain. So we're 2 hours in.
Be sure to give these runners a follow, people, because we're 2 hours in and not really that close to a resolution here.
No.
The seed could go well into tomorrow. We might have to make this a two-parter here. Oh, that is Flippers. All right, Flippers has been found. So now we need to figure out how to get to that upper part of Bumper Cave to get the Flippers so that we can get the bow.
Not only do we have to get up there, we need the cape, I believe. So that's another item we need. Unless you somehow get... oh, right, that's right. That's
Yeah, this is not necessarily Bumper Cave.
Oh my gosh.
And these two caves aren't necessarily connected.
Right. Oh, well, here's Hookshot Cave. This could be
Hookshot
good.
Cave. All right, maybe we'll get the cape in here and then realize we don't actually need the cape. Or maybe it just actually takes you to the top, in which case that'd be exciting.
Yep, there is another exit up here, so this could be...
So if this takes us out, then there's going to be some pretty fast movement, as we can now do Swamp and Pod. And Swamp will have a lot of items in it. Oh, it is vanilla!
Well... So Flippers have been available for a while now.
Also, you do need to remember to check this entrance.
Oh.
Ah, we found Ganon!
Well, if we need Bat, we know where to go.
If we find the powder... find the powder and an ice rod at Bat. That would be the next level troll that the seed needs.
I want it.
Alright, the Flippers gets us the bow, and that gets us a lot.
Yep. Flippers have been available since Dark World, unless I'm mistaken. Because all you need to get in that cave is the regular glove.
Right, so the myths weren't required for that rock. So all they needed was to be able to get to that cave. So anyone who goes there early will get their Flippers.
Yeah, that's the bow as well. That's Pod completed. Eastern Palace potentially. I believe Armus does have another item in there.
Alright, it does also make GT completable, and so we could have things on the Ascent that are required.
That is true as well.
Validation chest powder?
Oh, please.
Not such a validation
Please.
chest at that point, is it?
No, it's not. I think an entrance shuffle, that's not actually like a validation chest, that's just a chest. Could be the chest, in fact.
King's Tomb found in the Dark World shopping mall with good old 20 bucks.
He wasn't a rich king.
And now Chad is coming up with even more ways for this seed to produce a bunch of troll.
Well, maybe it's good to be thinking about that because so far the seed hasn't been nice at all.
We would like for one nice thing to happen in the seed. Oh, he is rage slashing there.
Oh boy. So I still gotta find that ice rod. At the very least. And I don't know about you, but I would be very happy to see Ice Rod at Bat somehow. 2 hours, 11 minutes. PikaPals gets the bow.
So now, how do you remember how to get to Pod from here?
Let's see here. Pod is. I took notes for a reason. I hope I. Yeah. Turtle Rock's Mimic Cave left exit is Pod.
Right. Now, how do we get to that bridge? That is the true question.
I don't. I don't actually remember.
So this is one of the more challenging things about full mode that you don't really see in the other mode. Like, not even in simple, and certainly not in Madness or Insanity when you just keep entering in exit spots repeatedly. But in full, you have to remember the chain of entrances and exits required to get to certain locations, like Pod being on the left side, like the Turtle Rock left exit means you have to remember what got you from the Turtle Rock right exit. It's not necessarily from Death Mountain either.
No, it isn't. Okay, so the other shield was an Ice Palace, and then I think the final shield is on the Torch and Desert Palace. So that's absolutely what the seed intended you to do. Logically. I don't know if I call that logic at this point, but that's the way it was programmed.
Alright, because doing Swamp. People don't like Swamp Palace because it's so slow, but I don't know. It's a nice, little, pleasant dungeon. Not too challenging.
Oh, good God. Somebody finished this already.
Yes, Wolf38 is finished in first place with a time of 2:13:08.
Well, bully to him, because good lord. Willard asking, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" That's what I want to know. Are you sure? Is this a troll?
Did you actually play the right seed?
Yeah. People have done this before. They've played the wrong seed, or they've done just a troll and then undone later. Willard Bradley himself, not unknown to do that.
Done, and then sorry, cat. Well, really, like we like the flippers, like weren't really in a terrible spot. Like,
yeah, that's true.
It's very easy to have been made terrible just by putting it off for as long as possible, as we're seeing everyone on the stream do. But it itself was not that terrible. All you had to do to get to that flippers once you had Dark World access was to go to Village of Outcasts and then check the Bumper Cave location, see the flippers, enter that spot, see the Hookshot Cave, go through the Hookshot Cave, go on the other side, get the flippers, and then you're like, whoa, that was easy.
Yeah, that's actually a very simple little check. I kind of wonder if people didn't do that because they're so used to normal rando, and like a lot of randos will not check that spot until they have the cape.
I mean, my usual route is to start in Village of Outcasts, and then, you know, check Skull Woods, check the upper Dark World locations, and work my way clockwise from there. So if I were planning to see it, and certainly you can take this at face value because I'm not running to see it at all, but I would have probably gotten the flippers pretty early into Dark World.
Yeah, and I do agree with that. Checking Bumper Cave after Skull Woods is not that big of a time loss. I mean, if there's nothing there, then obviously it's a waste of time, but if something is there, it can be very useful information. Even just to rule it out.
All right, so recitador is quacking now. In fact, everyone has quacked. He doesn't have his mitts yet, so he hasn't checked the bomb shop yet, or the bomb shop location rather.
It's yeah. It's in Hype Cave, which is not in the Hype Cave spot. Just a little bit north.
Also, we haven't found a dungeon that has led to the mire location. It says exited to the mire location because that's the only double cave in the mire spot is mire itself. So that means they would have to enter a double cave and then exit out in the mire thingy. Which means it could be flute required to get to that area, especially if there's a dungeon there, which we haven't found Hera yet. So we could have Hera at Mire. You could also have Hera at GT.
Oh, I think Recitador just got the which item, and did he? Or maybe he. I don't know. I think he was just mad because he could have used those potions a lot earlier.
Indeed.
Okay.
ACM has finished in second place with a time of 2:17:43.
Yeah. I guess that means that that done wasn't a joke.
Yeah, at this point we are done with jokes. So someone predicted earlier, powder is on the west side of swamp. Well, let's see that pay off.
It might just be Ice Rod, unfortunately, but we'll find out shortly if there's anything here or not. I assume there's gotta be something, though.
I mean, even if it is powder and then Bat has the ice rod, it's still not really that terrible. Because, like, once you get the flippers and then you mirror and you check that Aghanim's tower, and you see where Aghanim's tower is, and then you get the powder and you can easily clear Aghanim's tower to check the Bat, I mean, that'd work out pretty well, but unfortunately it wasn't, so...
He found a blue item, PikaPals did. It wasn't the right blue item, unfortunately.
Alright, Firame has finished in third at the time of 2:19:15, so some people are finishing up. So it's not the one fluke runner who somehow got the spoiler log. But it could be 3. But probably not.
Probably not. I think they are just pretty good runners who are familiar with Entered Shuffle.
Yeah, they're probably just pretty good runners. Alright, so Pika has 4 crystals, Invictus 3, Rick 2, Recitador 1.
I think Pika has 5, actually.
Has 5. I said 4, meaning 5. I was just testing to make sure my commentator was paying attention.
Did I pass?
You passed muster. Aha, he does remember how to get to pod. I don't even remember what he just did. I saw him do it, and then I just totally already forgot what he did to get there.
Well, he just went to pod. That's just it.
Oh yeah, he went to pod.
Yeah. So he's able to clear out this right side now, as well as kill Helmasaur. Hopefully Helmasaur King is a bit richer of a king than the one that was actually buried. And when he goes back to Turtle Rock, whenever he finds that ice rod, that'll be a very quick clear.
Yeah, because all he has to do is get to the rear of Turtle Rock, go straight to Trinex, and then all he has to do is finish GT and then go fight Ganon.
Just knock on the back door, pretend you got a delivery, and then I guess shank him.
This has happened to you a lot, hasn't it?
Yes. That's why my house doesn't have any back doors. Let's see here. Rick is making his way to Mothula. Invictus. I'm not sure what he's doing, to be perfectly honest with you. He could be doing something amazing, like the greatest play ever. And I wouldn't remember what's up here.
He's playing to get the fairy. That was his play.
Well, he gets the girl, I guess. Okay, he's coming down here. Going back into GT.
Interesting. Ice Armos, maybe?
Oh, baby. That's the ice rod. So,
All right. At 2 hours, 23 minutes, and some number of seconds, we're in go mode. So PikaPals is just going to wrap things up from here. Chex Human is finished in 4th place with a time of 2:24.29.
So PikaPals entering go mode was Chex is not done, I guess.
I guess we can't really play the Where is Big Key GT Big Key game, but we could play the What Place is PikaPals game, maybe. I don't know. Is that poor form?
Maybe. We can still guess how many blue balls Agatu is going to give him.
Which is probably going to be a really low number if you can, like, just have the the doubles from the accompanying Agos. So,
unfortunately, yeah. For a number of Troll Dorm falls, I'm going to guess 0, though, because PikaPals is playing very well.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop?
Depends on... I don't know.
I mean, with the ice rod, you need fewer licks. It's some weird bug in the 1.0.
Does it count if, like, Trinex licks it once with each of his heads, or does that only count as one?
Well, if we follow Breath of the Wild logic, there are 3 heads, but somehow still only 1 lick.
Darn, that would have been his one time to shine. Feel bad for him. Alright, well that was the quickest turtle rock ever.
Rick forgetting that he doesn't have the flippers.
Who doesn't have the flippers?
I mean, at this point in the siege, you kind of you might get a little tired and fatigued with all of the entering and exiting of dungeons that you just pilot shenanigans. Like, oh, I just entered Dark World and I want to go south. I'm gonna just flipper past this spot.
Ah, yeah.
I get especially trolled in Seeds with Late Hammer when I go, okay, I need to go to Dark World to check pod, so I'm gonna flute to 5, and oh right, I don't have Hammer. But right, this is a fluteless seed. But I believe in the flute and validation chests. I've made 0 correct predictions. So I predict this prediction will be equally wrong.
And validation chest actually is the validation chest now.
It is legitimately validation at this point. Even though Meyer is a crystal, it could still have flute.
Yeah, 2 hours, 30 minutes is a very long time to be playing one seed of a rando. Because normally these, you know, if you're a decent runner, probably only take you an hour and a half, an hour 45 minutes, depending on the seed. So playing for a, you know, like an hour on top of that can definitely wear on your mind. So I'll go with powder in the final chest.
Oh, that would be great. Get the powder right before Aga 2 so that now you have sort of a reason to fight Aga 1.
Exactly.
I like it.
No, we can both be wrong, and it's like a big 20.
And it'll be one of our biggest 20 what am I trying to say? 20th, one of our 20 biggest, that's what I was trying to say, 20 biggest mistakes. It's been going, this season's been going on for 2.5 hours. I can't even make coherent jokes anymore.
Yeah. You've been out of water for quite a while at this point.
Something pun. I always wonder what people will think after when they watch the VOD of the race and they hear all these comments. I can only imagine Pika going, "I'm not your pal, friend."
Well, he's Pika, so he can only say Pikachu, I guess. So unless you know how to speak Pokemon.
True.
And I guess fitting in that Pokemon theme, this seed has been a real test.
I'm trying to remember the Pokemon theme and I can't. So I'm just gonna go with Pokemon, yes. Pokemon!
Fixed shovel. Half magic and shovel on this climb here.
I'm surprised he's even still checking chests at this point, but I mean, he's not in first, so probably just hopeful to get something. Wow. And $20.
My prediction was technically right.
You were technically correct, so congratulations on your technical correctness.
That's kind of correct.
Is Invictus stuck? Everyone is currently stuck until they can get the flippers.
And it's funny because the flippers is in like one of the most obvious spots in the game. But no one's gone there.
It's pretty weird because the other three runners are sort of currently on equal ground. Probably not necessarily in like locations checked, and certainly not in terms of like crystals gotten. But they're just they need the flippers. Maybe one of them knows the flippers is on Bumper Cave, but they never actually went into the cave right there and gotten out the vanilla way, and because they think cape is required.
Yeah.
And Act the Boker is finished in 5th place with a time of 2:30:42. Doc comment, a link to the last possible location available.
That's too real for me. It's like every seed ever. There's Cape.
Oh right, the uncle was actually in the pyramid, so...
Yeah. All he had was another big 20. So Link robbing his uncle instead of helping him.
Oh, and that actually is the cape. So now we could check Bumper Cave to get the flippers. Wait.
It would be funny if somebody actually opted. Well, actually, you can't. You can't do that because you need Bo. Never mind.
You need the bow. Right, yeah. So Bo's locked behind Flippers. Flippers not really locked behind Cape. Cape locked behind Bo.
So I do find it weird that the second entrance where Bumper Cave is, where you get the flipper. Oh, okay, thank you. Can actually be a different location. Like in this case, it was Agonon's Tower.
Right. And that's one of the tricky things about entrance shuffle is like being cognizant of that. One of the earliest entrance shuffle seeds I did, East Palace, was on the west side of the maze game, and I never realized you spot.
Yeah, it's not a very intuitive thing, but it is something to keep in mind if you ever want to try one of these yourself. Obviously, these races are open to everybody, these daily races. Yes, even you.
Even you. Yes, John, I am looking right at you.
We even let dolphins play.
Don't worry, Sally, you could do the seed too. Alright. We did not get the torch glitch, but
I think it
we
matters.
are probably gonna get it right here. Nope, not the triple. But there's the kill. And with that, PikaPals finishes in 6th place with a time of 2:34:25 and is the winner of the restream and gets all of the awards and accolades associated with winning a restream.
Yeah, the therapy, however, is not provided.
Right, therapy is not provided, and most insurance plans don't cover rando therapy. So we're gonna try to bring in PikaPals for the interview.
I'm interested to hear what he has to say.
Meanwhile, Korak finishes in 7th place with a time of 2:35:22.
Yeah, looks like we have PikaPals in the waiting room.
And PikaPals is here. GG.
Hey, thanks.
So you are the winner of the restream. Congratulations.
That's a miracle.
Right? So first off, what are your thoughts about this seed?
It was a thing.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
That Moon Pearl location was just rude.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of rude locations, recitador just got his lamp and cut the guy who opened the box.
That's fair. He deserved it.
Yeah.
And Rick just got his flippers, which is now going to start. He's going to now get the bow, which will then eventually lead to the S ride and then put him in go mode. Which is such a long time coming. Jeez.
You actually found the flippers way ahead of anybody on the featured 4. In fact, 2 of them are still looking for it, and Rick just got them.
Oh no. Yeah, I was going to check that earlier, but then I decided to take the frog for a walk instead, and then never went back.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird because that's actually a pretty obvious spot to find them. But in, I guess, Entrance Shuffle, it becomes a little bit delayed just because of all the extra steps you have to take when you go to a new area. Because obviously you're looking for what does this entrance lead to, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, normally you don't expect the bottom of Bumper Cave to lead to the top of Bumper Cave either, so that gives you even more reason to put it off.
Right, and I think that some people might have gotten confused because they saw the flippers and then thought, oh, they're on the top of Bumper Cave, so I need the cape, and then forgot that this is Entrance Shuffle, and that isn't necessarily true, and it certainly was not.
Yeah, turns out it's a good thing no one needed the cape.
Yep, I did see that. It was in the Uncle Drop, which was the Pyramid Drop.
Yeah, it's the Uncle Drop. That's the first place to go in the game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have checked that location so much earlier. Then you could have gotten the flip so that you can get the bow, so that you can get the cape.
Exactly.
Yeah, really, I really should have just thought that through some more. Done a more traditional Uncle route.
But yeah, the progression in this seed was kind of ridiculous when you consider that, like, the laser bridge was technically locked behind Mirror Shield. So first off, Mirror Shield sort of required, although certainly you could bypass the Cana Burna, which is also technically required for Spike Cave, which was locked behind Hammer and Mirror, and that led to the Moon Pearl. But you also needed the boots from GT to be able to get there. So how did you feel when you finally found the Moon Pearl?
Like I was probably 30 minutes behind.
I believe you were the second to get the Moon Pearl. Invictus, I think, was the first, but he didn't even use it right away. You were the first person to actually start exploring Dark World with the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, I didn't have much left by the time I found that thing. But yeah, I hadn't even thought about the fact that you need Mirror Shield just to start this whole crazy seed.
Yeah, that dawned on me halfway through, like, because we were trying to put up the item chains in our heads, and it's like, wait, so your invincibility item was on Laser Bridge, but you need that or Mirror Shield to get the items on Laser Bridge. And Recitador actually did find Mirror Shield just a little bit before that, which put the thought in my head. Which is ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah, like, I wasn't even considering Mirror Shield. I was like, okay, I guess Cape is somewhere, because Kane is right here. But no, Cape is the very last thing you'll find.
Yep.
Indeed. So if I recall correctly, you were the semi-finalist of the Entrance Shuffle tourney? Or am I completely mistaken, or was that Amazing Am for us?
No, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
I was second and AA was third, with Gem first.
Okay. Because earlier I mistakenly said you were in first, and then Jack corrected me on that matter.
The loser.
I just wanted you to win, okay? I put all my money on...
I mean, I wanted me to win too. Especially after the way I lost that final race in that tourney.
Oh, man. So you're at least a little more used to the full shuffle shenanigans, like having Pod be on the Turtle Rock left exit, and then realizing you have to go back there later with the bow, having to remember how to even get there in the first place. Did you have a hard time remembering that, or did you just know how to get to Pod?
No, after all the experience I've had with the entrance shovel tournament, I developed a system to make sure I never forget how to get to that bridge area if there's something important up there.
And then how did you? Sorry.
Yeah, I just make sure to write down the entire progression so it was thieves into a pod, rather than just being writing down the single location it was.
Yeah, that's an issue I still have, is that like I sort of just still think of like, oh yeah, pod is here, but I never really think of the sequence of caves to get to there. How did you feel about finding Agonim's cave after getting the flippers? Did you think that this now put Batcave into the running?
I was expecting it. I was definitely expecting Batcave to have Ice Rod, just because why not at that point?
I mean, the seed was not nice before that. Why would it start being nice now?
Yeah, exactly. There's no reason to expect that.
Oh gosh.
All right, so Elminster finished in 8th place at the time of 2:40:35. And we still have these 3 people.
Yep. Rick looks in a pretty good spot. He's got his slippers. He's got his bow.
Yeah, so all he has to do is do pod, and then he can actually be in real go mode.
Yeah.
But we still need the flippers on Recitador and Invictus. That's the real key here, as we found out. So yeah, technically mitts were not required in this seed.
Yep, they were not.
Yeah, that's one of the crazy things about Entrance Shuffle. When you get seeds where like, oh, mitts aren't required, that's a weird thing to think about.
Mm-hmm. Randomizer can be a lot similar too. Dungeons you expect, like, for example, pod to require the bow don't necessarily need it to be completed. Well, pod, you do need it for the statue, but Eastern Palace, there we go.
Yeah, pod
Invictus
is
playing the wrong
place
chess game and profits. Sorry.
Yeah, pod is unfortunately the one place you actually still need the bow in Randomizer. But other than that, yeah, everywhere else, it's kind of weird to think about.
I'm still waiting for the entrance shuffle seed where Moon Pearl isn't.
I think a lot of people are waiting for that Moon Pearl list seed.
I just would love to like fight Aga 2 and then warp through the pyramid and then suddenly become a bunny. That would just be amazing. Although I guess that is a little more likely to happen even in a seed with required Moon Pearl. Just because GT could be in Light World.
Alright, Invictus gets his lamp and just stares. Gives him a long stare for walking away.
I kind of had the same reaction. Like, what am I supposed to do with this?
At that point, you were past all the dark rooms, basically.
That was just, I guess I'll go do Myra, why not?
Yeah, Meyer being the hardest dark room, as a lot of people think. I know I can't do that one, even though I can do pretty much every other dark room without the lamp. That one still gives me a lot of trouble if I try it.
Yeah, it's really rough. And then you have to fight Vitreous right afterwards. It's just no good.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it before, but there really wasn't a reason to this seed, so I didn't bother.
Oh, that reminds me. Were you one of the people, I'm assuming you were, that fought Armos? Ice Armos?
Yeah.
How did you like that?
Well, you know, it happens. Master Sword Ice Armos is the worst Ice Armos probably, but other than maybe Swordless, I guess. Swordless is pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. Having to float around trying to get those hammer hits.
Yeah.
Or boomerangs.
Just use the boomerang. Always use the boomerang. I still use the boomerang.
Boomerang for life. Boomerang is the real progression of the seed. Let's see Fat Ice House.
Rick went back to Eastern. There is an item here, so...
Has he found Pod yet? I don't recall. It's been going on for so long. I don't even remember what my name is.
Your name is Mallet. I don't know. Pod is in a weird spot. So it's possible he didn't. I would assume he has. Just the seed's been going on. Maybe this is like the easier spot to check for Ice Rod for him. I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't blame him. Because, I mean, it's East Palace. East Palace is friendly. East Palace always has the answers.
Yeah, and he was right next door, so, you know, I guess why not?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, but it was a pendant, right? That's why you don't really want to do East Palace. Oh, well.
He gets 3 bombs and then a bomb on the string for his trouble.
Yeah.
Invictus and Recitador still hunting for those flippers. And every minute that this goes on is like a multiplier on how bad they're going to feel when they find it.
Recitador's getting warmer. He's just in the wrong world. We finally get to see what this dark room was, and I believe it's the right half of the cave where the old man resides. As in, it's useless.
Yeah, there's almost no reason to ever come here. Like, there's like no reason to ever come here in Rando. Normal randomizer, anyway.
The back end, yeah, an entrance at least. The back entrance of Old Man Cave can be really useful.
Mm-hmm.
On vanilla, it's pretty worthless.
That looks like a validation arrow on Hylia Island. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think so. The arrow to kill Ganon, of course. And apparently the pod location is giving quite a few other people some trouble. According to IRC, anyway.
Yeah, that location's always tricky. It always screws up quite a few people whenever that is important.
Mm-hmm. It's on the left cave, on the bridge to Mimic Cave, I believe, is the best way to put that.
Yeah, and even the entrance to get to it isn't the friendliest. It's one of those places you just never look at.
Did anyone find Hera? No, actually, not on our restream anyway. So who knows where that is? Probably Meyer. Meyer is Bumper Cave. So it's the floating island. Let's see. Alright, we have Recitador coming up on Vitreous.
He doesn't have the bow, so he's reliant on Master Sword strats. He doesn't have the cape either. He could use the cane of Burna, but that wouldn't really. That would make his game go about like 1/3 speed.
Yeah.
In this fight.
It does cause some lag frames, unfortunately. But he's doing okay for what he's doing.
Just keep dodging the lightning.
Yeah, and I guess a lot of people at this point are going to have Master Sword with where that Tempered Sword was.
Tempered, of course, being in the big chest and pod. That was a very nice find for you early on. Early-ish,
yeah,
I
that
guess.
was pretty helpful. Yeah, early on, I was still in the light world, I think.
Yeah.
I can't even say I found the Moon Pearl early on in this seed.
I mean, really, it's impressive for anyone to finish the seed, given how far away the Moon Pearl was, and how, like, you could see super early where the bow was, but the flippers were missing and whatnot.
I mean, it's especially convoluted if you just trust the logic and say, well, nothing on this laser bridge is going to be required for now because I don't have the means to get it. And that would involve a lot of runaround to actually get what you need to check it. So anybody who finishes this is definitely deserves a pat in the back.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people who didn't finish it just didn't know that Bonk Rock Cave where the Moon Pearl exists. Like it's one that a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah, that's something I talked about earlier on, is if they just didn't know where it was, because by that point they had around 14 hearts, they had bottles, you know, you don't really need the, even though the logic assumes you have an invincibility item, you don't need it to get the item there. So I just assume that some of them just weren't thinking about that spot. Because it's not actually used for anything in a normal rando either.
Yeah, I think it's like a fairy fountain or something. Worthless.
As to how long this stream will be going on, I'm not actually sure how long we're going to be going. We haven't gotten any message to wrap it up or anything, so I assume we're just going to keep going.
This is the stream that never ends.
Well,
if you're feeling tired, chat, feel free to go to bed and wake up, and in the morning we'll hopefully have found the flippers on Invictus's or Recitador.
Oh, Recitador just found him, in fact. He's going to get him right now.
Well, hopefully he didn't go to sleep when I said he would, because he would without the flippers on Invictus or whoever. Wait, Recitador. No, he's getting it. That's what he's doing. He's getting it right now. Sorry, you just said the name. I don't remember. That's so tired.
Do you need to go for a swim? Get some seawater in those gills?
All right. Well, it seems that we are going to be cut off at 30, so we have 10 minutes left. Only 10 minutes. But what is time? It's just a construct. So to summarize, if if we're sort of lost with what's going on still. Rick needs to get the ice rod from Helmastar King in order to be in go mode. Recitador is going to get his bow soon, and then he'll also need the ice rod for go mode. But he has a couple more dungeons he still has to beat after that. And Invictus needs to get to find the flippers on the Bumper Cave exit and realize that he can get to them by entering the Bumper Cave entrance and realize that those two caves are still connected in this.
Where did you see we were only had 2 minutes left? Because I'm getting conflicting information here.
Oh, because Feasel said at one point where? Said it in the Twitch chat directly.
Okay, well, Cesaria said that there was no rush and that the race would continue.
Never mind. We're just gonna keep going forever.
Well, whatever. We'll figure it out. If we
We'll keep going until we realize we're not on stream anymore, and then we'll stop.
Well,
yeah.
maybe.
At 11:20 Feasel, there's FF1 Rando at 11:30 p.m. EST, so we'll cut off when those players are all set up.
Okay, gotcha. I gotcha.
That was the comment I read.
Well, we'll see what happens anyway. Not important. So, Recitador got his flippers. Going to get his bow now. Invictus still looking for the flippers.
He's going back into the escape.
Well, he's trying to escape.
He killed the rat, but didn't grab his keys, so now he can't open this door.
Oh.
Or it's already open. Never mind. He forgot he had already opened the door. And I don't even know what he's doing anymore.
I'm sure he's a little lost too.
He's trying to get to the front of Hyrule Castle, except I think it's locked on this side. If I recall. Bonk! Oh, no, he did bonk. Just kidding.
Oh, Rick is doing... Oh gosh. I'm so blank right now. Argus, that's the name.
Argus. I'm glad I'm not the only one who can't remember names.
I don't know, 3 hours is like the point where I start...
I'm just glad that my co-commentator here... What's his name? Shoot.
It's Mallet. My name is Mallet.
Alright, Recitador is doing Swamp. Rick's finishing Swamp. I don't blame these guys because Swamp has 6 items. Like I said earlier, it's like a pleasant dungeon, and then I got mocked by the chat for that remark. But it has 6 items, and you're looking for ice rods, so you know there's 6 times more opportunities for ice rod than like Helmastar King. Although I don't think they've found Pod either, so
It's
Pod has 5 items, so it's Swamp is 20% more likely than Pod to get the item.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense at this point.
Hello, .blank0.
Hi. Hello. Pod is in a very odd spot. It's on the Dark World Bridge that you normally use to get to Mimic Cave. It's in the left entrance to that. Yeah, vanilla TT leads to TR ledge, leads to pod.
And then Korik said actually that, like, you know, it would be better to check pod and then mirror and check swamp. But at the same time, you don't know where pod is, but you do know where swamp is. Unless you did a roundabout Dark World exploration and then only checked Bumper Cave. Which is possible. Or it's possible to not have, or it's possible one way or another to do something in some order that makes sense.
Let's see, it's not just taking its toll on the runners, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the seed let anyone do anything that makes sense.
No. I think you lose your like sensibility cred when you make mirror shield required logically. That's where I pull your card. I'm like, hold on a second here. Are you really this old?
All right, so let's see some finishes. We have Maximum Varnage in 9th with 243.18. Unos in 10th with 254.58. Alucard 2004 in 11th with 255.26. Zertinol in 12th with 257.02. And Andy in 13th with 259.15. So those are the people who finished this seed in sub 3 hours.
Andy was, let's say he expressed some frustration at where Pod was at one point in the RC.
I remember seeing his expression of frustration about the mitts, or not being able to find the mitts, which ultimately weren't even required.
Mm-hmm.
But I found that amusing.
Not PG, so we can't repeat it here, but... Okay, Rick is going up GT before he goes into Turtle Rock and Pod. Well, if he doesn't know where Pod is, I guess this is okay.
I mean, this is also itself a good play in general, because you have to beat GT at some point. It's basically another crystal dungeon they have to complete, even though like we've already cleared most of it already, and some of it was even required in the end. There's still the 4 chests in the Ascend.
And Ice Rod could absolutely be there logically.
Ice Rod could be there, or progression to Ice Rod. Unfortunately, we know Ice Rod isn't here. I think the shovel was up here, and so he's gonna dig up the flute, which is gonna take him to Mire, or to Mire area rather.
Yeah, we might actually get that
which is going to make it pretty and more annoying. Yeah, and then also it unlocks the uncle spot, which if you pay enough attention to what drop locations you have found, you'll have realized I've not found the uncle yet, and therefore the uncle has to be at the pyramid drop down. So yeah, that does open up 2 more spots. And the uncle had... What did the uncle have?
A big 20 and a cape.
Oh, the cape was in there, that's right. I thought the powder was in there for some reason.
I wish.
No, I wanted the powder to be found up the ascent. That's what I wanted. That was one of my million wrong predictions that I made that were so wrong that I even forgot how wrong they are.
We tried to predict how bad the seed would be, but we didn't know just how bad it would be. I mean, I guess it wasn't that bad actually, but
yeah, it felt bad.
Exactly.
It just feels bad when you miss Bumper Cave for like 30 minutes.
I mean, in the end, it comes down
like an hour.
Yeah,
right.
He's stumped.
I mean, yeah, in Invictus's case, it's a little more annoying. I think that though, like with your route, PikaPals, it's just sort of like you were checking the locations, but you were checking them in what turned out to be the wrong order, but could have easily been the right order, you know? So that's just what randomizer is.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest problem was really just that I forgot Bumper Cave. It slipped my mind after I decided to get Frog over it.
Oh, right. Yeah, and especially when you think, oh, right, I can return a frog, so I'm going to pick him up, and then I'm going to check some locations, and then you realize I can't enter any double entrance locations with the frog, which makes it harder to really explore that well. Oh, right, and didn't you also see the bomb shop was in the water?
Oh yeah, that one.
So do you know if you can actually take the super bomb swimming?
Yeah, you can, but it won't jump off a ledge. I think in the waterfalls case, you would be able to swim with it, but I'm not sure on that one. Because in waterfalls, the only time you get into a pool without doing the visible hop.
That's a good point. It'd be really mean if you needed Flute to get the bomb out of there. But thankfully that's not the case.
Yeah, you just need the Flute to get the bomb out of other places, like Death Mountain.
Yeah. We have Rick taking down Moldorm 2, or trying to. Well, he gets bumped, of course, as I say that. Oh. Takes another fall. This is like the worst. Not only do you have a long seed, but you're getting trolled by everything possible.
Oh, jeez. Rick has to be exhausted at this point.
Oh, I'm exhausted. All I've been doing is talking, and I'm exhausted.
I mean, I was exhausted like an hour and a half ago.
So again, be sure to give all of these runners a follow. PikaPals, who's the only person on the restream to finish. So, AdirondackRick, Recitador, Invictus 2011. Be sure to give them a follow, and of course the trackers, who have been doing an excellent job with tracking. I have had no complaints with them. I don't know if the chat has had complaints with them, but I hope you don't have complaints with them. I'm sure they tracked your complaints, but I didn't. And maybe the commentators, I don't know. Did they really do anything though?
You help everyone else follow along when seeds are this bad.
We provided the comic relief when this seed elected.
Yeah, the seed, very humorless, but well,
Oh, the
there's the trackers.
is gone. Did the trackers go on strike, or are we getting booted? I don't know. After 3 hours and 10 minutes, you lose all of your items. Start over again.
Yeah, there's the time limit seed apparently.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
All right, well, Invictus finally figuring it out.
Oh, the tracker got reset. Hmm.
Well,
I mean,
it was not made
oh,
for...
did we? Actually, no. We should still be.
You curse them. You were praising them, and then this happens. I blame you.
But yeah, there is something coming up, right? Sometime, someday. The FF1 randomizer. Supposed to be starting at 11:30 p.m. Currently 11:35.
I mean, we did have a bit of a late start here.
True.
But
wow, look at these Rick and Recitadors getting a bunch of items really quickly.
whoa.
Right before your eyes.
I didn't even know an item could be there. Clear, this is why all my finishes are like middle of the pack at best.
Also, PikaPals, it's super impressive you finished the seed with only green mail.
That was a really crazy seed. I'm impressed too.
Like, Go Mode was just closed.
Yeah. Where did you learn those karate moves? I want to know.
I see really just EG to the Triforce, don't tell anyone.
It'll be our little secret. Okay, here we go. The dig is coming, and it's flute. Obligatory. Is this even randomized? Comment goes here.
All right, we do have a few more minutes here. Just confirmed it with Fiesel.
It's a shame too, because I was so looking forward to hearing Rick's thoughts on this seed.
Well,
I guess we can just always ask him later.
you can always just invade his stream and then ask him live. But I do think he is going on a wild goose chase here.
It was just
Also, I
weird
guess
that goose looked a little bit weird to me.
I guess we should have sung the Swag Duck theme, because I guess that was the first time we got a Swag Duck here, so...
Oh, you have something prepared.
I am so sorry that I missed this theme. I wish I could say I had prepared, but I really didn't. I am not that good. So please forgive me. Love Blue Dolphin.
I'll forgive you. I'm gonna go throw like 26-pack wrappers in the ocean just so we don't get another one of you.
Alrighty. Right, so he hasn't gone to Meyer yet. I guess he was just checking that spot just in case. Oh, and I missed Invictus getting the flippers finally. I kind of got distracted with the whole is the stream actually ending Y2K bug. But I guess oh, Recitador's going to pod. He's gonna get his ice rod and then be in go mode.
We'll take him. Well, I think he still has to do the GT climb, so unfortunately, I don't think we'll be getting anybody else in here before we have to get cut off.
That is unfortunate. So I guess we're just gonna have to do a mock interview, probably. Recitador, what are your thoughts on this seed?
You see what a piece of crap. No, not good.
Ah, that's unfortunate. Rick, GG Gun finishing in 97th place out of 36. What did you think about the Meyer area?
Well, I didn't actually realize it was possible to finish 96th of 34.
I know, it was really weird math, stats, calculations. The calculus of it would just blow your mind. Invictus, I know you started the seed in 2011 and you're now in 2017 and you have a lot to catch up on. But my only question for you is yes. I don't even have a question. I don't know. Alrighty.
Oh, I just got why you said he started the seed in 2011.
He made his account just to run this seed.
Yeah, for this exact day.
Yeah. And he missed his daughter's graduation. It was... I mean, he didn't even have Moon Pearl at the time, so he couldn't give his daughter the pearl that she wanted.
So I guess his princess was in another castle.
I'm sorry. Rick returning to Meyer. What led him astray? Did he enter Meyer and then... Or no, he's re-entering whatever.
I think what led him astray was getting the flute in general. But
Alright, well, at least one side fact that we can at least close out the stream with, so we can at least say something useful. Reverse Bumper Cave is cool because you don't need cape for it, as you just saw Rick do. Ah, he's exploring Upper Death Mountain, I guess. Or, no, you could have done that earlier, I guess. He probably thinks that this is new, uncharted territory, but it's not really. I'm not actually I mean, I think it is in the logic that cape, but
yeah, I would be interested to know if that actually needs cape or if hookshot counts.
Oh, it is in the logic. All right, good. I know there was a sort of Plando that did have reverse bumper cave leading to cape, but it's also a Plando, so that doesn't mean logic. All right, it is getting to be 11:45.
Yeah.
Which was Fiesel's deadline. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the commentary on this, or at least if you couldn't get past the puns, you enjoyed the racers, and that's who you really should be watching. These are excellent runners. Don't let the times deceive you. They were handed a pretty devious seed. And again, many kudos to PikaPals for being able to finish this on the restream, so we could even have an interview on the restream. But be sure to give all 4 of these runners a follow if you haven't already. Be sure to follow all the Speed Gaming channels for great content. Be sure to give the trackers follows. Be sure to give Mali follow. He is excellent. I enjoyed commentating with him.
I had a lot of fun commenting with you, Erotic Porpoise, is that your name?
Dude Lolfin.
Gotcha. Give him a follow. He's a pretty funny guy.
Be sure to give him a follow because he's a funny guy. And now Invictus is going, oh shoot, my follow alerts were still on.
Oh my.
Well. But anyways, have a good night and enjoy the Final Fantasy restream.
Yep, have a good one.